What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. And Robert Whittaker had an interesting take. So during an interview, he doesn't think it's a good idea for Alex Pereira to go down and fight Dricus Du Plessis. To quote, he says, "Honestly, I don't think it's a good fight for Alex. Alex gets hit and Dricus likes getting hit, and Dricus hits hard." So it just got me thinking. Okay, so common opponents, Israel Adesanya and Sean Strickland. While Alex Pereira knocked out Sean Strickland, Dricus had to go to decision to beat him, right? And with Israel, Dricus finished him. Alex Pereira also did finish him in the 5th round of their first fight, but in the next fight, he got KO'd, right? And he was already talking about how the weight cuts was really brutal on his body. And when he came to the division, that was the #1 thing everybody talked about. They talked about how big was Alex Pereira and how does he even make weight to begin with. Just his features, he has a big head, big hands. Like, he doesn't look like a guy who could realistically make 185 pounds. I'm shocked he was able to do that for so long. So, in his last fight with Israel Adesanya, after he got KO'd, he decided to move up to light heavyweight, right? And he has been at light heavyweight for almost a year now. And the thing is about moving up in weight, it's going to be harder for Alex Pereira to ever go back down to 185. It might not even be possible anymore because of 2 things. First, he put on a lot of muscle and a lot of weight, and it will take him a really long time just trying to cut the muscle just to make 185. And as you know, cutting muscle is never a good idea. 2, he's 37. He's another year older. And as you know with fighters, as they age, it's harder and harder for them to make weight. Just your body, it's natural. It won't let you make that weight that you were able to make, and it's going to be a lot harder as you age. We know this, right? All right, so he has those 2 things going against him, right? But in a fight at 185, how does he fare? Well, Dricus is like, you can't pick against this guy anymore, right? So when I saw Dricus fight, and I pretty much watched all his fights in the UFC, I looked at him as like a prospect, but I never thought he would be this good, I'll be honest. And the way he strikes and the things that he does is very unorthodox, sometimes even sloppy, right? But the fight that sealed the deal, how good this guy was to me, was the Robert Whittaker fight. Robert is like one of my favorite fighters, right? Just how he fights, it's like almost perfect style. Man, if this guy was just a little bit taller, I think he would have beat Israel in those fights. But anyways, going into that fight, I was like, there's no way Dricus beats Rob, right? Because Dricus reminded me a lot of Derek Brunson, right? And even though they fought very similar to each other, Dricus was able to win that fight, right? And Rob, who had fought Brunson in the past, knocked him out and made it look pretty easy. So going into that fight, I was like, oh no, this is an easy win for Rob, and he's gonna be right back in the title fight, right? It shocked me when Dricus was able to drop Rob with just a jab. I'm shocked he can make 185 at times, because I'm just like, this guy's just too strong. But he was able to beat Robert Whittaker with just like this power jab to drop him, and then he finished the deal. And I was like, man, this guy is really talented. Then we move on. He fights Sean Strickland for the title fight. And in that fight, in the first round, Sean was actually piecing up Dricus. He was doing a really good job with his jabs, and it looked like Dricus was going to lose this fight going into it, because you gave up the early round, right? And we know that Sean Strickland has maybe the best cardio in the division. You would just think round 4 and round 5 is going to go to Sean, and then he's going to win the fight by decision. But Dricus did something that other fighters don't do. He really gives 100% effort in these fights. He goes in there, doesn't even care if he's gonna get KO'd. Like even Rob said earlier, he likes to get hit. He will get hit just to give you a hit. And I could just see the determination in how he fights. He made sure that Sean Strickland was gonna feel every punch that he threw at him. And the style that he brought to Sean Strickland threw him off. Because if you know Sean, he fights a lot of technical boxers. He's always sparring in the gym, and he always has good sparring opponents. Dricus, on the other hand, does everything wrong. So you really can't find people who fight like Dricus. So that unorthodox style made it really hard for Sean to counter. And as the fight went on, Dricus was just looking better and better each round. And the thing that surprised me the most was Dricus's cardio. It's like he's huffing and puffing every fight, but he doesn't get tired. You know, it looks like he's 100% gas, right? But he's still fighting the same way somehow. And for a long time, that just didn't make sense to me. So we move on. Israel's fight with Dricus, very kind of similar with Sean Strickland's fight, I want to say. Israel started off really good. In that first round, I thought he was landing the better shots. And I thought he won the first round, but I think the judges scored it. All of them scored it to Dricus, which threw me off. Round 3 and 4 is when Israel started to cook. He started to go at Dricus's body. A lot of leg kicks, body kicks. And I was like, oh, all that is going to add up. And the Israel either is going to win this fight by decision or knock him out. But like I said earlier, somehow, some way, Dricus gets the job done. It looked like he was completely gassed, but he was still fighting the same. Has no quit in him, right? So going down to middleweight might not be the best idea for Alex Pereira. If they did fight at 185, I'm going Dricus. I just believe if he touches Alex Pereira's chin at 185, him being weight depleted, he's gonna knock the guy out. Even though Alex Pereira does have the most knockout power, like Rob said, Dricus likes to get hit to give you a hit. And I think he could take the punch of Alex Pereira and hit him back, and Pereira was not going to be able to take his punch. I know that sounds crazy, but I'm only talking at 185. If this fight did happen at 205, I got Alex Pereira. I just think him not being weight depleted, and he's going to have 100% power back at his natural weight class. I think he gets the job done by like first round KO. But I want to know your thoughts. Do you guys have Dricus winning, or do you have Alex winning? Let me know in the comments down below. If you are new, hit that subscribe button. Peace.